What it do? Another new week, new tech file. We took a week off last week, but we back and we got a lot to cover. So let's not waste too much time. And let's go ahead and get on into it. Welcome to episode 363 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. What up, though?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm the Eric J.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman.
The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
What damn shit.
All you gotta do is you even gotta say better known as.
Every time we have a week off, you know, I'll be
it is a little, I feel you.
You want to go back to your old ways. Huh?
Hey, relax.
Choose some thoughts.
Relax.
Some people cannot help but let their intrusive thoughts win week in and week out.
I don't know who she talking about.
I'm not inferring anybody in this room. I'm just saying people. You know how it is.
On the regular.
Yeah. Tim understand what I'm saying.
Because it's him.
I was not saying you saying that. I'm not saying that. But some housekeeping before we get into the swing of things here. I was going to take us off track. I won't, though. Intrusive thoughts almost won for me. Make sure you follow us on our social media pages at Technical File, TECKNICAL on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Technical File Podcast on Facebook and on YouTube. And when you get to that YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the pod. Hit the notification button so that you get notified when we go live every week to record the show. Come be part of the show. Be in the comments.
Are we live?
Interact with us, so on and so forth. And make sure you follow, support. If you see a social media post from us, like it up, comment. You know, we be in the comments talking to y'all too. So drop them. Even on the YouTube, just drop comments on the videos and we see them. We be watching. We be talking. All right, game that needs a name this week with the NBA season kicking off as we speak. We are going to be doing NBA players. So if you're unfamiliar with the game that needs a name, it is a rapid fire memory game where we choose a topic. As you just heard this week, it's NBA players. We each try to go in order saying them. You cannot repeat any. You only get about 5 seconds to answer. And then the last person remaining wins the game. Let's go in reverse tech order this week. So Ken,
got every player in the league.
Yeah, Ken.
Are we doing current players?
Current players.
Okay.
Current players.
Shit, hell.
We got Ken, myself, Eric, then Tim, reverse tech order. NBA players. Kick us off, Ken.
The King, LeBron James.
Anthony Davis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Steph Curry.
Jimmy Butler.
Damian Lillard.
Chris Middleton.
Jalen Brown.
It's not your turn.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Jalen Brown.
Oh, Jason Tatum.
AJ Green.
Brook Lopez.
Alprin Single.
Damn. Kyle Kuzma.
Andre Jackson Jr.
Deuce McBride.
Fred VanVleet.
Oh, Cat Williams. I mean, Cat
Williams. I don't think so, nigga. I don't think so. I don't think he's in the game.
Anthony Towns.
I don't think he's dribbling a ball.
Anthony Towns.
Or shooting a shot.
Damn. Anthony Towns.
With that being said, you're out.
Yeah, you out. You out.
Damn, man. Nigga said Cat Williams.
Julius Randle.
Oh, damn.
Dante DiVincenzo.
Damn. Gary Payton, second.
Rudy Gobert.
Victor Wembanyama.
Klay Thompson.
Chris Paul.
Devin Vassell.
Ooh. Russell Westbrook.
Drew Holiday.
Nobody said that right?
I didn't think so.
Okay. Sam Hauser.
Nikola Jokic.
Damn, dog.
Jamal Murray.
Al Horford.
Oh, damn. You got it. It threw me up. I thought he was like,
Jalen
did
Green.
he quit?
Jalen Green.
OG Anunoby.
Scotty Barnes.
AJ Johnson.
I'm out.
I'm bad though. Nigga said I was thinking of Cat because of Cat. Then I don't know what made me say Cat Williams though. Because of Cat, that's wild. Man.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Ariel Sensei said, the real question is if Cat Williams was in the league, what team would he play for?
Who he play for?
Cat Williams. Man. He little, right? So
He's
he had to
super little.
So he had to be a guard.
Who need a guard?
Who need a fast guard?
Washington.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know if he
might even score. Fucking with them.
I don't know about that, boss.
Where he say he was from?
Shit, I don't know.
I don't know where he's from, actually. He feel like he would do well in
Tag
Memphis,
him,
though.
man. He got a shout out randomly. Tag him.
Are there any teams that are named after cats? I know the Bobcats used to be, but
Would you count? No,
I don't think so.
Wolves or dogs.
Not anymore. Like,
no,
that's all
Panthers,
college
no
now.
Tigers, no Lions,
Uh-uh.
no
Bears,
No Bears.
no
Oh my.
Pumas.
Nope.
It's a pussyless league.
Lord
Damn.
mercy.
Well, the topics for the week.
Pussy?
Literally said to my husband last night.
Pussy.
We were talking about women
Oh,
proposing to
shit.
men,
Ah.
and he was like,
That's his response.
"No," because he was like, he said, "There's two reasons why that won't work," and I looked at him. I was like, "Is the reason I'm pussy?" And he said, "That sums it up." Yeah,
Pretty much.
but no, this week, y'all, we weren't here last week. We planned to kind of slow roll our NBA preview, so it's going to be a heavy dose of NBA today. We're going to start by talking about the tiers in the Eastern Conference. From there, we're going to go into the NFL, what we saw over the last week or two of games. From there, we're going to continue the NBA preview and then talk about who we think is going to win some of the end of the year awards and predict the finals matchup. From there, WWE. There's some quick hits to get out of here, and that'll be the show for the week. So let's get started. All right, this NBA season preview as it's going on right now. So we're going to put each of the 15 teams in the Eastern Conference into tiers. Teams cannot appear in more than one tier, and the 4 tiers that we have are contenders, the best of the best, championship favorites. We got playoff teams, so the teams are going to be serious competition, not seen as good as the contenders, but they have a shot at making some noise if things break their way. We then have the play-in contention tier, which is not seen as the top seed in the conference, so the ceiling or the goal is just to make it to the playoffs by any way that they can. And then we have the 4th tier, which is bottom of the conference, because somebody's got to finish last. So teams that might be a bit more focused on next year and trying to get one of these high-end talents in the upcoming 2025 draft. So
The Cooper Flag hopefuls, if you will.
yes, the Ace, was it Ace Bailey?
Ace Bailey,
That guy's good.
He looks like he's going to be good.
Dylan Harper.
Mm-hmm. Teams that want those guys. So let's start with the contenders. Best of the best. We have the same 3 teams consistently amongst the 4 of us. Celtics, Bucks, Knicks. But the question comes in with the 76ers, a team that Ken and I have in this tier, but a team that Eric and Tim are like, nah, not contender tier. So let's start with y'all saying that the 76ers are not contender tier. What about this team has you going like, I don't see
who's
them
playing tomorrow against the Bucks.
76ers.
Who?
Who's playing for the 76ers?
Are we going to see their stars?
Oh,
I can't put them up there if we can't see the stars.
So your concern more so is getting through the regular season healthy.
Yes.
okay.
I think
They
that's
got
fair.
Paul
That's
George to
valid.
be the
That's fair.
insurance for when Embiid goes out to help Maxey, because Maxey was really pulling a lot of work last year.
Mm-hmm.
If he gonna be out as much as Embiid, what the fuck is the point?
See, I don't look at Paul George as insurance. I look at him as an upgraded third option. Which
Over Tobias.
which absolutely he is, because again, the way y'all talk about my nigga Chris Middleton, y'all be acting like he is Tobias Harris, and I don't like it. But no, I think sorry, I get out of but I think that's fair to bring up the health concerns. That's the question I do have for the 76ers. Like, what does this team look like? Because we've heard Joel Embiid's already said, like, I'm not doing back-to-backs. He don't care about playing 65 games, which says to me he's not going to play at least 65 games this year.
Yeah.
So their focus is the playoffs. So if they can manage their health in a way to get them to the playoffs healthy, I really like how that team is constructed. It's just the big if.
That was going to be my question about it. Knowing that you may have Embiid miss a couple of games every year and you have a guy like Tyrese. Yes, you want to build your team to fit around your star. But
Embiid.
if you know that the availability would be better suited because he's going to be on the floor more than your star and he's becoming your star too. Do you start tweaking the squad more around Maxi's talent to be able to supplement whenever Embiid is out? Or do you continue to try to build a roster for Embiid?
I mean, this is a question that they've had pretty much as long as they've had Embiid, because the question used to be
Speak up a little bit.
Excuse me. The question used to be like, sub out Tyrese Maxey and put Ben Simmons in there, and they never did, which I think was to their detriment. I mean, I know how Ben Simmons' career has kind of played out since then, but I feel like there was a time where Embiid got hurt down the stretch, and they were like rolling with
just Simmons.
I think it was the team that had like JJ Redick and Starge and Covington and all, like basically the team they had before they traded everybody for Jimmy Butler. But that's neither here nor there. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if they should, because it's like you don't win a championship if you're building around Tyrese Maxey. Like Joel Embiid has to be your number one. It has to be optimized to have him in the lineup essentially.
Yeah.
But like my thing with the Sixers is like they're the one team where it's like I have to see it before I'm going to believe it. Like every year, people are like, "Is this the year for Philly? Is this the year for Philly?" And every year, it's the same story in the playoffs, where something falls apart, somebody's not healthy, somebody's not happy. Like it's just there's something always with that team, and they can't even get out of the second round. So it's like I'm not going to believe in them as contenders until they show me that they're contenders.
I think that's fair. Ken, I know we talked about 76ers already, but I know amongst all of us, we all had the Knicks in contender tier, but you are the highest on the Knicks of all four of us.
And this is before the cat. This is before the cat trade and everything. It's something about the Knicks, and I said it even last year that like I really want to see the Knicks win the championship. Like I really do. Brunson, how tall is Brunson? Is Brunson 6'2" or 6 even?
I think he's listed at like 6 feet.
I don't know if he's a real 6 feet.
So he might be smaller than that. Jesus Christ. And that's the only thing. Like he's a dog though.
Yeah, he's
a small guard, but he gets buckets. I just love how that team plays. Again, we have to see how it works with the cat trade
6'2"
and everything like that. He's listed at 6'2". So that means 6.
Let's say he's about 6 feet.
Yeah, 6 even. Okay. But yeah, I'm heavy on that.
I'm 6'5".
But yeah, like I'm heavy. Bronson, he's that dude. He's the dog, and I have confidence in that team. I like with the cat trade again. We have to see how it works, but I can't see them getting worse after the cat trade at all.
I can for the defense and the bench depth. That's the part of this Knicks team that my gosh, we have the we have the Celtics Knicks game on
dog walk
behind this WWE championship belt, so y'all can't tell that we watching TV except for me just explaining that we watching TV. But listen, the depth I have questions for with the Knicks. The fact that they don't have Mitchell Robinson until next year, which is part of why they went out and got Karl Anthony Towns. But in order to do that, you had to give away Dante DiVincenzo, which was some additional bench depth. You're relying on a lot of guys who haven't necessarily had proven careers, unless your rotation off the bench is just really going to be like Precious Achiuwa, who's injured as well right now, Jericho Sims, Campaign, and those are really your vets, and Deuce McBride off the bench, where it's like then you're looking at Tyler Kolek and other rookies on your bench, and I don't know if I trust it. Also have some questions about the Knicks defense, because yes, they're strong on the wing, but at the point of attack with Brunson and then at the rim with Cat, I don't know. So the Knicks are a team I have to see. I love the offensive potential, which is why I have them in contender tier, but like I'm higher on like the Bucks than I am on the Knicks.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, for the Knicks, one thing that's concerning to me early on is Mikal Bridges is the shooting form of Mikal Bridges is concerning to me, because like if he's not a 3-and-D wing, he's not going to get the same usage that he got in Brooklyn. So like all that scoring that he displayed, like it's kind of, they're not going to rely on him for that in New York, so he has to be more of a catch and shoot guy like he was in Phoenix. And if his shot isn't there, like, yes, they'll still be like devastating defensively, but OG misses a lot of time. And like Camille just kind of went through, like, they don't have depth. So they are very reliant on him being him. And he hasn't looked like himself, both in his production and again, this ugly ass shooting form. So I'm really concerned from that standpoint. And yeah, I didn't realize how much of their depth and their trade assets they really extended this summer. Like, they don't really have another move to make that can kind of fortify them. So like, this is what they have for the next couple years,
because they're locked in financially as well. They don't have any flexibility really in that regards either. But all right, let's talk playoff team tier.
Playoffs?
Yes, sir. That next tier, again, a lot of the same teams. It's just that for Tim and for Eric, the 76ers drop here, and me and Ken don't have them there. So, but the other three teams that all four of us have are the same.
Sorry, before we move, well, it kind of fits in this place, but I do want to say one thing about the Bucks.
Oh, they're my finals pick, so we're gonna have time to talk about them.
Okay, I'll say. But I have thoughts.
Some thoughts. Yes, we're gonna get to them for sure. Playoff team tier: Cavs, Magic, Pacers are those three teams that we all agree on, and then Tim and Eric also have the 76ers here. Which team in this tier of playoff teams do you have the most faith in?
Honestly, Orlando.
Orlando, man.
Orlando look good.
Orlando's young. Orlando's growing. Orlando start putting pieces together that makes them a very competent team. Picking up KCP helps their outside shooting as well, which was part of their issue last year. I like the squad. I like that they're young, they're athletic, they're quick. They be moving the ball. Like, they play great defense.
Definitely fun team to watch.
Their biggest Achilles heel, honestly, was 3-point shooting last year. Like, if they could have had a couple, shooters on their side. They may have changed their fortunes a little bit because they was pushing teams, even in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that Orlando's going to have a hell of a year.
Okay.
And I think that they will be fun to watch.
Jason Tatum out here shaking his head at these niggas. Who wants to talk about the other team they most excited about in this tier?
I'm going to say the Pacers.
Fuck them.
Yeah, of course it's bad. I didn't hear about with the Pacers, but I said fuck them. But
he ain't wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Especially the dude from Oshkosh. Like, he really heel turned.
Hey, man.
Over the last 365
My boy
days.
been skiing like a motherfucker, too.
The only thing that a black woman can do for Tyrese Halliburton is tell him where the white women at.
Lord Jesus.
He definitely been skiing. I seen him yesterday on IG. I'm like, that's like
if I can't ski, it ain't me. That's what Tyrese said.
With the Pacers, you're high on the Pacers, yeah.
Just because they've showed us what they can do. Halliburton is a proven star as well. And
Loving v. Virginia, I hate to see Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Halliburton.
When the Olympics going crazy.
All right, y'all.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man.
Meanwhile,
Dr. Umar, boy.
Right. It's the Cavaliers for me. That's a team where it's like I can see the potential of them having a really good regular season. Last year, they were a team where I'm like, oh, they injury bug. It ain't going to help.
Did they hire Kenny Atkinson?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Who did? Wait.
Cleveland.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I'm like, change mine. Well, I'm keep it where it's at.
Yeah, so I just like what they got going on there. Yeah, so
that's a really good fit.
I think Cleveland's going to be one to watch in that tier for sure.
And then Spider's still there. So.
Yeah. His game has matured in a beautiful way. Like, he's always been a bucket, but his game looks so much smoother now. He has it all efficient. Under control. Yeah. Like, the passing is there. Like, he's putting it together. I'm happy that Cleveland got them another superstar. Eric, anything you want to add on any of these teams in this tier?
No, I don't really care about them. I'm not that high on any of them.
The play-in contention tier. Now we start to have some interesting conversations here. I have the most teams in the play-in contention tier, and it's in part because the East is kind of bad once you get to this part. And a lot of these teams could pop. Tim has the least amount of teams. So I'm gonna say my 5 teams. Everybody else.
Five.
I know you got 5.
I got 5 of them here. I can't tell at this point which of these teams is gonna be like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I have one that I think
actually
really bad tier, but we'll get to it.
I can't tell which one is gonna be like, you know what? Actually, next year is what we want. I can see all of the 5 teams I'm gonna list as like, hey, we gonna make the playoffs or play in is our goal. And I got the Heat, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Pistons, and the Hornets.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hornets. Shout out to Charles Lee. I think he's gonna be able to establish a nice culture in Charlotte, and just kind of build something. And if LaMelo can just be healthy, that in itself is going to be a big help for them.
And like I talked about him like a dog in the draft, but like Brandon Miller showed me some stuff last year, and I think that they really got one with them. So with confident coaching and like a more stable front office and ownership situation, like I think that they're only looking up. I will say though that LaMelo might be like a sneaky next star that gets traded guy.
Ooh.
Just because like it does seem like they're turning over a new leaf, although they did re-sign number 0. So but it does seem like they're trying to move into a new era, and if they do want to shift to, to your point, like building around Brandon Miller, like that might be the way they do it essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Any thoughts on any other teams in these tiers y'all want to talk about?
I like Detroit. I'm gonna double down on what I said earlier in the year about Detroit,
which is
I think that they're gonna be fighting for a playoff, like a play-in spot. I think they're going to be fun to watch, and I think they're going to be, I don't know, they might be a sleeper. I feel like they'll be better than people expect them to be.
I think the Pistons legitimately could be the 10 seed in the East this year. The team makes more sense. Them having adults in the room helps.
We said that with Monty.
No, like
but he didn't want to be. We didn't know at that point that he was literally there for just the bag. Like he showed he did not want to coach throughout that year. But I mean, the vets that they brought in, Tobias Harris, for as much as one might say was an overpaid, and as much as I just got done talking about him a couple minutes ago, he works in Detroit. Malik Beasley is another vet where I'm like, I like that fit there. I like Tim Hardaway Jr. Also like Fontecchio off the bench. A shooter, like the team makes a lot more sense for them. And I think that JB Bickerstaff is going to do some good work in Detroit.
You already banned a hoodie.
I just want to throw out there, when I said Tim Hardaway, I got ewed and booed off the stage with several tomatoes.
Were you talking about him in like the finals context? Because we're talking about him in the 10
I was just talking about Detroit being a good, being a better team this year earlier.
I was just naming bets that they brought in.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing too. And I got booed off the stage when I said Tim Hardaway
because he didn't look good last year. So I get why they booed, but he's an adult in the room for them, which they need. So
like similar to LaMelo, like they just need K to be healthy.
Yeah, and Ivy to pop.
Which he was shooting it much better in preseason.
So I think there's good things for Detroit. It's a bold prediction. Detroit wins the most games this year, as they have since the 2018-19 season when they went 41-41 when they were the 8th seed in the playoffs. They get the second most wins since that time period this season. So they just got to win 24 games, y'all. Just win 24.
That's crazy.
And they've done it.
24 wins.
Put up a mission accomplished banner.
Exactly.
Ooh, boy. Any other teams in this tier y'all want to talk about? The Heat?
What are the Heat doing?
I don't
know. Like what's the path? What's the goal? What's the?
I
don't know who they building around.
I feel like the Heat is always that team. Like, you know what they're capable of because of their coaching. They got Jimmy Butler. He always stepping up, going to the playoffs, or he turned it up another notch. They're always that team. You be like, I don't really. If they say healthy, they look good, but they're always that one team when it comes to playoff times. Like, you really don't want to play the Heat.
Yeah,
and it's a toss up. Like, we literally don't know what Heat team we're getting. Like, we don't know. Like, you said who?
He played in the playoffs.
Remember they played the Celtics. Because Jimmy Butler, when they lost, Jimmy Butler was like, "Man, if I was out there, we would have won."
Pat Riley like, "Shut up."
And then Pat Riley was like, "I don't want to hear none of that." But no, I think the Heat are going to be the Heat, which is like a team you can't write off.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the coaching, they're generally put in positions to succeed because they have a really smart head coach who figures out the best way to get the most out of his guys. And watching Starting Five, I don't know if y'all finished Starting Five on Netflix.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
But Jimmy Butler lost his dad last season.
Mm-hmm.
And he meant, like, in the documentary, he was just like, I love basketball. Yeah. I'll never cheat the game. But, like, I honestly don't care about it right now. I don't care about anything right now. Like, I'm hurt. I'm really hurt. And I don't care about none of this. And I said, that makes last season make a lot more sense. Because it was the second half of the season when his father passed away. So I think Jimmy's ready to go. It's a contract year for Butler as well. Mm-hmm. He showed up to media day without any of the hijinks, the shenanigans. Ready to hoop. He played in more preseason games than he ever has as a Miami Heat player. Like, I think he's really ready to go this season. They have that chip on their shoulder, like no one believes in us. So
I thought he was talking shit to Chris Paul in a preseason game.
Never change, Jimmy.
Hey, man. Love that guy.
Bottom of the conference. Some interesting teams here. I think we all have the same combination of teams, though. Nets, Wizards, Raptors.
I got the Bulls.
I do too. Yeah, I put the Bulls.
Oh, all of y'all had a Bulls except for me. Why are y'all
dead terrible? Like,
really?
And they still trying to figure out what they're trying to do, bro. Like, probably 3 of those players they will be there after the deadline.
Now
like,
that's a good point.
That's what
they might be sellers.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, they blowing it up.
If they can get rid of Zach LaVine like they would have already, I think they're willing to take anything for him. They re-signed Pat Williams. They traded for Giddey. Like, I think that they're ushering in like a youth movement. Like, if they can get off of Vucevic, I think that he's a prime candidate to get going. They already traded Caruso. Like, they're tearing it down.
Yeah,
and I don't think that they want to be good. I think that they're looking toward, like, they need something, and like they finally given away all their.
Was it DeRozan?
Yeah, they lost DeRozan for nothing. And like they don't owe Orlando any more picks, so they're actually in a position to finally tank.
The Bulls remind me a lot of the Herb Cole Bucks, where it's like just in the middle of the pack. Like we want y'all to just go for that 8 seed and y'all will be all right. Now, if they do become sellers, for sure, bottom of the conference, but I think they have too much talent to be worse than Brooklyn or Washington or honestly Toronto.
Yeah.
When I saw Media Day in Toronto and Jakob Poeltl was up there talking about something, it's all about development this year. I said, not the player coming out saying this year, whatever though. But like,
Lonzo, so many fucking people just walk.
Yeah, Lonzo looked good in his return. Bravo, by the way. Shout out to Lonzo making his way back.
Yeah, put in that work, man.
He got a whole new knee. Like literally, like we make jokes like, "Oh, he got a new knee," but like literally, he has a new knee.
Mortal Kombat knee.
He did an experimental surgery where like the knee came from like a whole new knee, brand new to him. So it looked like he was playing well. So I think the Bulls have too much talent, too many vets on that team for them to fall below some of those other teams. So I think they're gonna be in the hunt for a playing spot unless they become sellers. The Wizards are gonna be bad.
Yeah, they're for sure gonna be bad.
They're gonna be bad
for sure.
Okay. Any other thoughts on any of those teams in the bottom tier?
No. I do think Koulibaly is going to be good, like a good player.
Washington drafted
Bub Carrington,
Keyshawn George, right? That's a rookie. I'm gonna keep my eye on. He flashed for me in the preseason. Keyshawn George with the Wizards. So if you want to watch if you a real basketball sicko,
I was like, I'm gonna have to check him out because I sure ain't watching
Wizards game. All right, we're going to come back to the NBA after this NFL segment here because, we're going to take a little break on the NBA, talk some football real quick. And I got a question for y'all because the Jordan Love conversations have been interesting over the last week or two with him being the NFL leader in interceptions at the moment, tied with Patrick Mahomes with 8 of those things, even though Jordan Love has missed 2 games. So take that into context. Do y'all have any concerns about the interceptions with Jordan Love at this point?
Concerns? I wouldn't necessarily say concerns. I will say he needs to get this under control. Like I don't think that it's nothing, but I also don't think that it's cause for like the sky is falling. Like he's taking chances, and like believe in yourself. But it seemed like his decision making was a lot better last year. Towards the end this year, he's kind of like, just I can do it. Like, you know, like you don't necessarily have to though. Like, you know, like don't try to be a hero essentially. But like like when it works, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like that first touchdown to Kraft, like I was like,
woo.
And then did you see the dude that like
the Texans player?
Texans dude, he was like, somebody said that was a perfect pass. He's like, perfect? What you mean? Like it went right through my hand. Like, nigga, that's why it was perfect. Yeah. You're basically trying to say like it wasn't perfect because I'm terrible at my job. Like I don't know what you're trying to do here.
Jordan Love is an aggressive quarterback. That's part of his DNA. And I think part of the reason so many Packer fans are having such strong feelings about it is because they gotten used to watching Aaron Rodgers play football.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about it, how Aaron Rodgers changed our mentality when we watched the game. Because we used to make the joke of like, when we see Brett Favre drop back, we used to always be like, oh my God, what's about to happen? Mm-hmm. We don't know. He's just throwing that mug up. When Aaron Rodgers would do that, our thought would be, oh, what did he see? This is about to be a big completion because Aaron Rodgers was so risk averse.
Mm-hmm.
He was not going to put that ball in any situation that could even signal a little bit of trouble. And that was part of some people's problem with Rodgers of like, give your guys a chance every so often. Just throw it up every so often and let them try to make a play. And Jordan Love seems to be a kind of guy who, although he trained under Rodgers, because of his aggressiveness, he has a little gunslinger in him.
Slinging that thing.
Because he trusts his arm. He knows the talent that he has, and he's like, I can make any throw out here. So he does have to, I think, learn to kind of understand when to take the chances. Mm-hmm. But overall, like, you keep playing how you playing, Jordan. Like, I'm not mad at it. Give your guys a chance. Throw it up.
Too.
Yeah.
Maybe not in triple coverage. Like that's
right. But the tight end is wide open underneath.
Again, that's the situation part where I'm talking about. Like, understand the situation, but like outside of that, do what you do because that's what makes him special. Like, if you take that part away from him, then he's gonna start hesitating when it's like, no, just let it go.
I think it'd be different if y'all was 2-5 instead of 5-2,
like we were last year.
Yeah, like making like those rash decisions or anything like that. But I don't feel like it's nothing to worry about too much. I personally like an aggressive quarterback.
Question.
Why you say that?
Why you say
he's had gunslingers?
Oh yeah.
He just got done with a quarterback who wouldn't throw the ball at all.
That was scary.
that was one of, but most of his
Cutler definitely slinging.
Cutler,
Cutler give a goddamn.
Would you consider Trubisky that though?
Trubisky was letting it go too. That's why we love playing Chicago.
He was bad. But I don't think he was a gunslinger.
He was a gunslinger, but he was
just bad.
He threw that motherfucker.
He's a throw that motherfucker.
He definitely threw that motherfucker.
Put some respect on Pro Bowler Mitchell Trubisky.
He is a Pro Bowler, fam.
Tyler Huntley is.
Hey man, put some respect on it, man.
No offense.
You can put that on the mantle.
I don't
stop it.
I don't think there's cause for concern. It's just as a fan base, and I think people hadn't realized which way he would lean towards more. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we've gotten used to Aaron being so cautious, and you looking up and you're like, okay, he saw something. Even on Sunday when Jordan threw deep ball, before he took off, I was like, oh, what does he see? Because I'm not at that point right now where I'm like, oh shit, he just throwing that motherfucker. Like, I'm still under the guys that he was under Aaron, and if he gonna load up for one, you might actually see something. But we've seen this year, it may or may not be there.
and then, too, to give him some credit, too, he's coming back off of an injury. Correct. And we've been seeing every week since he's come back from the injury, the play has looked better. He's had a couple of unlucky interceptions, too, where it's like the guy slips and it's like, well, you can't do anything about that. Or it tips the hand, like the one that went over, I think it was Musgrave, and then Romeo Doubs went over his head. And they both kind of tipped it, and then it was an interception, and it was just like, okay, that's unlucky. Some of those happen, but it's the ones when he's throwing it into triple coverage where you like, come on, man. What did you see? Well, he did have that other one where he threw in triple coverage and they connected, and it was like, oh, that's amazing. It's the two sides of the coin. I think you just kind of got to
I think they were talking
ride
about
it out.
Either this week or last week in the broadcast. They were saying that LaFleur was saying, yeah, it was a great play, but it was a terrible decision. Yep. And like he's trying to get him to the point where it's like he's making good plays and making good decisions. Yeah. So it's a process. It's still he's young. 23 starts into his career, so he'll get better.
Yeah, he's still young. Let's keep it NFC North real quick for our weekly Chicago Bears segment. Y'all were on a bye this past week.
When it's a bye.
You said what?
We got a Bears minute when it's a bye.
Because we
weren't here last week.
Damn.
And now y'all play the the Commanders this week. Which if Jaden Daniels is healthy, that's going to be a game.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. But the Bears, we did what we're supposed to do against the Jags.
Against the wall.
Actually, yeah, we beat down the Jags. The best our offense has looked all season. I understand people are saying what? Oh, my bad.
What happened? We didn't say that.
But yeah, I hear people saying that. Oh, of course, like y'all were supposed to do that against Jacksonville. Okay, all the wins that we have. If y'all say we beat teams that we were supposed to win, that we were supposed to beat. Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm happy with that,
and like not even shading, like that's a step up for Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I can't be mad at that.
Expectations of victory now, and they're meeting them. So like that, there's nothing to sneeze at. For sure. Like I know Tim probably has like a million jokes that he's loaded up right now, but like I don't think that you can take anything away from what Chicago's doing because not only are they beating the teams that they're supposed to be, like they're beating them pretty handily.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like they have a better plus minus than the Packers do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're doing their job, and like their schedule's still pretty easy. At
this point,
depending on what Jaden Daniels' health situation is, but like they have a pretty easy schedule for the next couple weeks at least. So like they should run up a pretty good record before things get a little tougher.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna make no jokes because I can see the Jaguars being a trap game for the Packers this weekend, going down to Florida. So listen, when teams can do what they supposed to do, I'm never gonna knock them on that. But the Bears' next couple games, because y'all just had your bye week, which how do you feel about the early bye?
I actually like it because of Caleb, because we have a young quarterback. So I feel like getting the early bye out the way, like for him to just kind of reset, like, yo, like he can really study on, because he has been getting better and better each week. His reads have been getting a lot better. I feel like he's doing a lot better at actually like understanding like what, like the different schemes and everything that's coming at him. So yeah, I think for him personally, I think it's the best.
Okay.
Also, like you gotta keep in mind that they've been going since mid to late July.
Yeah.
So it is early in the season, but like they have been going for a while. So this is close to about like the halfway point of their full season.
Yeah, so I'm expecting them to come out with, full of energy, coming out, with a good game plan against the Commanders.
I mean, y'all got the upcoming schedule for the Bears, Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots. So
winnable games.
Yeah.
But then here comes the NFC North, which is part of the reason when everybody's talking about the NFC North is like we haven't seen a lot of interdivisional games yet in the NFC North. So like now these are about to start happening, and you about to start seeing some fireworks. Because after those 3 games, you have Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. That is how the season ends for the Bears.
I love it though.
Bank wins now.
Yeah.
But still, we can come out with a few of those that we not necessarily supposed to win. I'll be happy.
I mean, you already got what? Y'all five? Y'all got 5 wins? 4 wins?
No, we got 4.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty
Packers,
good.
after his Jaguars game, they got a.
What's the looking for the Packers?
The Packers have Jaguars this Sunday. Then after that, they have the Lions,
who should be without Jameson Williams,
which that kid just keeps getting fucking suspended. But then they have their bye, and then out of the bye they have the Bears, the Niners, which is a little bit easier than it seemed. Dolphins.
That's the Thanksgiving game, I think.
Lions, Seahawks, Saints, Vikings, Bears.
The NFC North. Woo! All right, that should be fun. There's a coach that used to have some NFC North ties that finds himself as the head coach down there in Dallas.
Yes, would have been a more appropriate conversation to have after last week's game. But
I mean, it's appropriate now the way Jerry Jones been on the radio going off.
Dude,
that man been losing his mind.
Bullshit though. Like I get that he got swayed, so he's gonna flex it. But like holding somebody's job over their head because they dared to question you as the owner, as the steward of the football team that they follow, like that's some bullshit.
Probably paid some money, bought some jerseys, paid some concessions, Not saying that it's a part of the game, but it's part of the game.
Well, I mean, like taking away like the fan part of it, it's like it's media. Like their job is to ask the questions that the fan base has. Like they're representatives of the people that are buying the concessions, that are going to the games, that are watching. Like, so you know, like you being like, oh, I can get somebody else in here to ask questions
that I want to ask.
Yeah, like that's some bullshit. That's why, whatever. Fuck Jerry Jones.
On.
But my question was, will Mike McCarthy be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys next season?
No.
Yeah,
I heard him on the radio. I think it was this week saying Mike McCarthy's calling bad plays and having bad decisions, and I was just like, "Oh, Jerry, you can't be on the radio just throwing your coach under the bus."
He done.
He ain't shit. Dog.
He done, bro. Everybody, fuck them all.
You would think Jerry's been owner for what, damn near 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's one consistent.
Yeah. Exactly.
Basically,
he has some
Jerry
good
Jones. Jimmy Johnson left.
Yeah, he's had some good coaches.
He's had some great coaches.
Yes,
fucking Parcells.
Like, yeah, ain't no
Mike McCarthy won the title. Jason Garrett,
Jason Garrett he wasn't a horrible coach.
He wasn't horrible.
He really wasn't a horrible coach.
It was all in the camera.
The Serial Sensei added in regards to Mike McCarthy that he better not be back next year.
Hey man.
And then he added,
he might not want to be back. Sure.
He might not.
Like, man,
in a perfect world, Jerry and Mike would be gone next year.
No, Jerry Jones is the
he gonna die in
Dallas.
He's gonna die in the stadium.
They're not gonna get better until he's gone.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that's what some Cowboys fans I know have said. Like, I'm not cheering for this team until Jerry's no longer part of the franchise.
He should like the NFL. Like, he'd be all up in the. Sorry, he
should
have not said it, but he all in the videos. Like, he think he the GM, or he is the GM actually.
He's like the football owner version of Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Where it's like he is never going to leave unless he is forced to leave.
He finna be walking out with the team every Sunday. He'll be doing all that.
Y'all saw the video when he had his helicopter land during their practice, didn't you?
Yeah, I seen that.
I said, not you stopping practice so you can land your helicopter.
And they
on
wonder
the
why
field.
your football team ain't good.
Yeah, I was like, "What up, niggas?
What's up, my nigga?"
Didn't Vince have a do-rag on?
I was just saying he did have a do-rag on.
With the cape out.
Do-rag Vince, fam. Filthy.
Jay-Z in the comments added, Jerry is about as diabolical as Al Davis. Shoot.
No, Al
Davis was on the vendetta against the league.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Al Davis was like supported by his team.
That's true.
Players,
that is true.
He did feud with a couple of his coaches. So.
Yeah. All right. And then you got some other teams who might have had some higher expectations coming into the season, but things just ain't quite Earl and right for them at this point. One of those teams happens to be the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, man. So I thought that it was kind of interesting the way that the 49ers team is kind of... So football is always going to be physical sport. The injuries happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when you start losing your number one receiver and then your number two receiver and now your number three, technically your tight end receiver is hurt, and your number one running back, and your defense isn't playing the same way that it used to play after your coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are several things at play here where you got to keep... So now Juwan Jennings and Ricky Purcell are going to be wide receivers number 1 and 2 if they are healthy.
Yeah, their healthiest receiver is the guy who got shot in the chest 2 months ago.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
and that was his first game on Sunday.
Debo is out of the hospital now.
Hey.
He had pneumonia, which is why he missed the last game.
Which I imagine like you don't bounce back from really quick.
Hell no, you can't breathe.
No, it's
I had that shit. That shit horrible.
That's a terrible illness to have.
That shit is horrible.
Especially with something that requires a lot of cardio.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was
saying.
like.
That you play and the way they play you in that offense requires a lot of cardio.
Yeah, it's impossible for him to
he
come back 100%.
Jerry is a Django character.
Sly said that Jerry Jones is a Django character.
I can see he's
not around my niggas.
Wait, so who's Steven?
Ooh, that was Sam. That was Sam, right?
I don't know, man. Cowboys fan, y'all let us know. But 49, Ayuk's out for the season.
That was nasty. His injury was nasty, and
Chris Godwin.
Which
see, I didn't see
tale of two things because like both of them were going into the last year of their deal. Ayuk held out until he got paid.
Got the shit on him after the fact.
And he got paid.
Slow start to the season.
And then Godwin was like, I'm gonna just play it out, and then we see what happens. So it's like the choice is yours. I'm never gonna begrudge anybody for getting their money.
It's been some brutal injuries. Even that Adrian Hutchinson, I was like, oh, I didn't need to see that. I did not need to see that. Don't look at the Godwin one either if you didn't see it.
I saw a picture of it and I didn't know what I was looking at until it registered, and I was like, oh,
like that.
His foot was backward.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Dislocated the same.
Jesus.
Human body is crazy, man. He's gonna be right back next year.
That's
running routes, running the 4-4.
Have we heard anything more about Christian McCaffrey?
Mm-hmm. Although I did see Aiden Hutchinson might, like, if they make it to
the Super Bowl, he said he might. Hospital. Which, brother, chill.
Yeah, for real.
Brother, chill.
You're gonna have Lonzo knee.
They said they hope that he could return by their Week 9, return after the Week 9 bye for November 10th game at Tampa. For
That's
Christian
McCaffrey.
I'm not buying it.
So he might be up for season.
If they can get him back, I'll feel better about their prospects going forward. Even though, what's the running back now?
Jordan
Mason or Morgan?
Yes,
Mason.
Morgan is tackle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But he's been doing good. He just doesn't bring the same.
He had a hot start.
Yeah, he just doesn't bring the same. That CMC can bring, given just how much of a threat he is once the ball is in his hands. So,
but he is second in the league in rushing.
He is. That's what I like. Between the tackles, give him the ball. But like, you can put CMC in so many different situations.
Yeah, you can line
I'm
him
not
up
comparing the two, but it's kind of like with Adrian Peterson versus like LaDainian Tomlinson, where it's like Adrian Peterson, great running back with the ball in his hand, but he's not a threat otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like LaDainian Tomlinson is
anywhere you put him.
Damn near a Hall of Fame wide receiver on top of being a Hall of Fame running back.
Okay.
Levels to it.
And there's also levels to this NBA season preview that we're doing. We're back at it. Prediction time now. Who's going to walk away with some of the end of season hardware, and then our finals prediction for the 2024-25 NBA season. Rookie of the year. Who's it going to be?
I got. You said what?
I got it written down.
I was like,
I'm doing something else. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But Reed Shepard. Me and you got Reed Shepard.
Okay. I'm thinking Zach Edey.
Yeah, I'm thinking Edey too. I got Edey.
I consider Edey. I actually had Dalton Connect first.
Connect 4.
I hope so.
But
man, that guy looked good.
Then it made me think about.
I was like, no, we always hit on the white guys, man.
And
always hit on the white guy.
And even if he's like with the starters, or if he come off the bench, he'll have a green light because they know the way that he can shoot. Score.
They need the shooting.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
When I thought about him, I was like, I know there's another white guy. And he said, Reed Shepard. I was like, from Summer League, who been able to just maintain, like, he has another one with a green light.
Yeah.
Now, because you have Jalen Green and you have Sengun, where he's technically coming into it, this will be maybe option number 3 or 4. Van Vliet's still there too. So he's going to be able to roll off the bench. Hey, go ahead and just be our spark plug there. Even if he needs to do a plug and play thing for a little bit, like I think Reed Shepard is going to have the ultimate green light there and be able to just shine in a place where he's not necessarily having as much expectation on him because of the way that this is a younger squad that's still growing and developing and things like that. They have Jabari Smith still. They still got
the
Tari Eason. They still got Sengun. They still got Green. They have Thompson twin. They have a young squad. So for him to be able to come in, he doesn't have much expectation, especially for an earlier pick like him, where he could just kind of chill. Well, not chill, but work his way in.
To counter that point, like, will he get enough time?
That's why I didn't go with Reed Shepard. That's why I went with Zach Edey, where I was like, he's going to probably be the starter and center for the Grizzlies, and he's going to have an opportunity to really affect winning. And if the Grizzlies are as good as I think they can be, he's going to play a part in that as the anchor of their defense.
Yeah.
So I think Edey has a pathway for Rookie of the Year with playing time and opportunity.
Is he going to bring back the post play?
It looked like he's going to try to.
I was just going to say.
He's so big.
Because he made Miles Turner look small.
Yeah, he did. He was just hook shots.
Bro, and he cold with it. He cold with it around the rim. That's what I'm like, I was high on him. I thought that he would turn into I thought he would be a really good player. I think he's going to be a really good player, minus the shot. And if you want to get a shot, sure. But I think what he's strengths allows him to be a good player.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Oh, yeah.
He get a little midi. Yeah.
I see it for him. Clutch player of the year.
I still don't know what that word is.
Yeah, I was finna say like what like.
And like,
if the game on the line,
under a certain amount of minutes, and this person scores scores this amount per game, or this their field goal percentage.
That's actually a good one.
I was like, I would put KD.
Because last year,
but I played with Jason, bro.
Who won Clutch Player of the Year last year?
That's what I'm saying.
I have no clue.
That's a good question. Was it Brunson?
No.
I have no clue.
Was it Fox?
I
know DeRozan finished top 3 in the last 2 years that they've had this award. Steph Curry won it last year.
And that's my pick for this year.
That makes sense. You can never go wrong with Steph Curry.
My pick this year is Jalen Brunson.
Mine too. Dog.
I'm going Dame.
I think Dame gonna have himself a year.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
He was one of the top clutch players last year for the Bucks, as it is when you identify clutch time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's a good
Dame
good
time.
pick. Steph, Dame, and Brunson. We going with the small guards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dame is noticeably thinner this year. Like you can see it in his face. Like he's you can tell he's in much better shape this year.
And he mentioned that he thinks that's part of why he was banged up as much as he was last year. I didn't get a chance to do nothing to my body that I normally do to get ready for the season. All year he was just dealing with nagging injuries throughout the entire time.
Which I get from the personal stuff that he got going on, but like as far like his excuse was I was gonna get traded and I didn't want to get hurt, and it's like so you put yourself at a disadvantage for a team that's trading, presumably giving up stuff to get you. Like that never made sense to me. But like,
well, I got it because if you doing a workout and something go wrong, because you can get hurt doing anything.
Yeah,
you get hurt during a workout, and you ain't going nowhere. You about to be sitting right here in Portland still, probably.
I mean, I don't think any team is probably looking at like we don't want Damian Lillard anymore because he got injured. Like,
and he didn't want to take a risk. And then too, you had the whole thing too with the Blazers locking him out the gym and all that type of stuff too. So kind of unusual summer for him. Defensive player of the year.
Wemby.
Yep.
Yeah, Wemby.
That was being different. So I went with Chet.
I ain't mad at that though. I ain't mad at that.
Like we need more names in here. Like Zach Edey was actually my pick for rookie of the year, but then when I went in there, other two people had Zach Edey. So I was like, I'll be different. I'll say Reed Shepherd. Like, I'm just trying to get the conversation going.
No, I hear you. So what about Chet?
So with Chet, like I can see, I can see the Spurs not having a good enough defense that people penalize Wemby for that. Like his individual contributions may be enough to where it's like, he's blocking everything, he's getting steals, blocking down the paint. But it's like if the rest of the team, if they're like the 16th ranked defense, then it's like he's good, but the rest of them not. So like, how can we give him that award? Whereas I can see OKC being the number one defense, Chet being a monster on defense, because that's really all he has to focus on. And like if they're as good as we think they'll be record wise, like people are gonna look for reasons to give their players the award.
Jason Tatum's shooting like 70% from 3 right now.
Yeah,
they're going crazy.
What's the score?
When Boston's on
93 to 66.
Damn.
It's still, we're not even halfway through the third yet.
Yeah, it's still the whole fourth quarter.
It's
6:45 left in the third. Like we still have more than half of
the. They have 100 points with the whole quarter left.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They gonna have all their stars on the bench just chilling.
Yeah. Great way to start season.
I miss those days for the Bucks when Mike Budenholzer, they would run the score up and it's like, fourth quarter, go ahead and get your rest in.
Giannis playing 27 minutes a game and shit.
Like you did your job.
Still got 30, 15, 2 blocks and shit. Like, damn.
That's the thing I missed last year. It was just like beating up on trash teams. Like, we shouldn't have to sweat out a 3-point win over
the Pistons.
Yeah, like what the fuck are we doing?
And that's the shit that we were seeing that other people who did not watch the Bucks and seeing that Adrian got fired. Like, you're like, bro, why are we in these tight ass games? Like, I fuck with it. But true, every Pistons game, bro, we got to come down to the last shot.
40 minutes for Giannis against the Pistons last year. Like,
on the losing streak, still struggling. Like, it shouldn't be this way. We're seeing these things now. We're going to get smoked in the playoffs.
Yep. 6th man of the year, or I'm sorry, most improved player of the year. We all got somebody different.
We do.
But everybody start with a J.
That's funny.
Man, people owe Jalen Rose mama some residuals.
Yeah, they do, because she started a whole
named
thing.
an entire generation. But I'm the only one that doesn't have a Jalen. I have Jaden Ivy. Like, I'm really basing that off of the one preseason game that I saw against the Bucks where he was shooting and hitting shots. But like, if he can actually be, like, if he has a reliable outside shot, that completely unlocks his game, and that completely unlocks like the Pistons, because then you can play him and Cade at the same time, and they can be devastating together, like what we envisioned when they got drafted. Yeah, I'm a believer.
I'm going Jalen Williams with the Thunder. I think he's ready to take another step. Like, every year he's improved. I think the Thunder, again, just given where they are and what's expected of them, he's going to play a big part of that. And they can keep winning big, his numbers improve, given how the award has been for the last few years, where it's not necessarily to like a guy coming out of nowhere. It's like the guy who made the jump to the next level. I think he fits into that category.
Okay. I got Jalen Green. Jalen Green for Houston. A big part of it was after Sengun got hurt last year, and they're pretty much, what was it, February to March run, or March to April. Bro went crazy.
Yeah,
like, he was a big part of why Houston had like a 13-2 month, and him averaging like 27, 28 points a game, just really looking like a star, like legit. The issue is that all happened literally after Sengun left. So it's like, when he comes back now,
how do they integrate the two players?
But I feel like because they saw that, and there was the opportunity for him to shine, which allowed him to get the contract that he currently just signed, that they'll give him the ability to kind of just flex a little bit. But if we can get that up out of you on a regular basis,
they paid Sengun more.
They did.
So like, to that point, like, are they gonna be like, well, he's actually our guy? Like,
they want to see. I've following them for a little bit. I like the team. Like, I'm like, that's the young team that might probably go take the next step. But seeing them, they've been talking about Sengun being like they want to make him their piece.
Their Jokic.
Yeah, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, but that's why they're already planning on paying him because of how he was playing before he got hurt. They're like, okay, we got something here. We're gonna keep that. If Jalen Green can show us something, we might. And then he took off from there. So it was like, okay, we got something here. It's just now, what do you do around it?
And what about you?
I have Jalen Johnson. The reason why I have Jalen Johnson is because I did start watching him towards the end of the season, and the reason why is because I actually had to pick him up in a fantasy, and I saw like he was actually putting, like, when I picked him up, I was like, damn, he's actually putting up stats, and it made me actually watch him. He was injured a lot last season. I think he only played maybe 50, 52 games. But in those 50, 52 games, he had like 30. He played like 36 minutes and averaged like 16 points a game. So I feel like being healthy, have minutes to stay the same around 36 minutes a game, staying healthy, having more of a role on the offense. You can move that 16 to like 20 something.
I'm not mad at that one.
So you mentioned that recently this award has become more of a, this guy took a leap, like from good player to great player. I looked at the odds, and Wembanyama is actually the favorite.
Interesting.
He was on my. I had him first, and I deleted him for Jalen Green.
Interesting.
Because I think that Chris Paul will unlock a lot of things, and that he can be a 28 to 30 point per game player this year.
If he do that and a defense,
I think that he's going to be that guy this year.
Somebody want to see that shit. Take that shit to the East.
If he's
Think about how many shots he missed out on last year when they looked him off.
They did look
wide
him off
open.
quite a bit at the
beginning. Lot of games.
Yeah.
Chris Paul will be like, fuck out of here. Give him the ball. That's an extra 6 to 10 points a game.
That's fair.
But I think that if he's the most improved player in the league, then that's the MVP.
Yeah, that's true.
It seemed like,
They don't want to get
the Spurs got to be that good, though.
Right. MVP and defensive player and most improved, like, that's a lot.
Because then you can look at Ja. We all waiting for Ja to take that next step.
He already won this award.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, now we expecting him to take over. He had possibly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ja.
We'll get there. Put a pin in it.
Memphis.
He's high on Memphis. That's
okay.
That's okay.
I ain't looking to see what he put on this.
6th man of the year. I'm going with the man who has finished top 3 the last 2 years, and I feel like he hasn't gotten his fair due, and that is Bobby Buckets, the mayor of Milwaukee. Bobby Portis, who looks like that 3-point shot is quicker.
Boy, and he's knocking that bitch down.
So I'm going to go with Bobby because he does a lot of things off the bench that most people would look to for a 6th man of the year.
I'm with you on that.
Malik Monk? No, Ben Mathurin.
Mathurin.
Because I feel like he's built to put up like big scoring numbers, and that's usually what they look for like bench players.
Kim?
I went DiVincenzo. I feel like that he go over there in Minnesota with a chip on his shoulder.
He definitely got one. We saw in that preseason game.
So like seeing that, I was like, yeah, he coming out the cook.
They go that 100 points for Boston in the third quarter. 4 minutes left.
The whole quarter.
Coach of the year. I'm going with Kenny Atkinson in Cleveland.
I got Udoka.
I do too. Houston. I got Udoka.
Nasty man. Taylor Jenkins in Memphis.
Okay. MVP.
Demetrius Ja Morant.
Okay.
That's his real name?
Demetrius is his first name.
Oh, okay.
I'm really high on Memphis. I really think that last year was
That's
like.
why I told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think last year was the year from hell for them. And spoiler alert, the team I think that they'll be playing in the finals. And I think that people have forgotten how good Ja is, how much of a difference he makes to that team. I think that they've fortified what made them good in the beginning. They've added Marcus Smart to that. Zach Edey is a 6-inch taller Steven Adams, which is crazy. You still have Jaren Jackson. You still have Desmond Bane, who are both ready to take even more leaps with their games. Like, I think that's just a great team. They're well coached. They have some moves that they can make if they want to, but like that's just a very strong team that knows who they are. And if you want to talk about people having a chip on their shoulder, like I think
Memphis
Ja has probably like the biggest chip on his shoulder because he missed the entire year of his career.
That's fair. I'm going with Luka. I think it's his turn.
It is.
I think it's his turn.
Luka time.
And
they've been trying to give him that award for
like
years.
I think take it. For as much as MVP is a regular season award, and I do this behind it because everybody always wants to bring up playoffs when it comes to MVP, which is supposed to have nothing to do with it. I think Luka getting to the finals last year, it kind of puts him, I'm gonna say like at the front of the MVP line a little bit, where people saw him get to the big game. If his numbers are what his numbers have been consistently, and the Mavericks can play consistently as they did in that second half of the year, all throughout this season, be towards the top of the West. I think it's Luka.
Oh, that's fair. I got faith in our boy, Big G, Giannis.
Big G.
I feel like there's been enough time away from his last award. I feel like he comes back with a chip on his shoulder as well. I feel like he's coming back with something to prove, just to not only take us and dominate throughout the entire season, but also in the playoffs as well. The numbers that he was putting up last year before he got hurt was just, again, phenomenal.
He had a historic year. He's the first player in NBA history to average at least 30 points on 60% or better shooting from the field.
Which is crazy.
Not even Wilt Chamberlain did that.
Crazy. And he can be better.
I was saying, and that's like not knowing how to play with Dame at all. Like, now they should have a little bit more chemistry.
Like, Giannis, and if we get back to the Bud days of blowing cats out, he can do all of that shit in 27 minutes, 25.
He can.
Like, I think he's going to try to put on an even more historic season this year.
Jason Tatum is going crazy.
And he hitting them like with people in their face.
They got crispy, you know that.
Right. I think to your Giannis point, God, that jumper is ugly. To your Giannis point, my only concern with him getting MVP is that I think if a Buck got MVP, I think it might be Dame.
Really?
I think Dame's gonna have a bounce because think of part of MVP is narrative. The year he had last year, and everybody's like, "Oh no, about Dame and this and that." If Dame comes out looking like Dame that we've talked about all summer, if he looks like he's right, and the Bucks are a high seed, I could see it being Dame, or I could see the two of them canceling each other out, where it's like I don't know which one to give the MVP to because they both have been just
crazy,
so good.
Like I think Bleacher Report, somebody released like their top 20 players, and like I saw that Kyrie was on there. I'm like, yeah, if we rewind the clock back 2-3 years, like he was nowhere, he wasn't sniffing that.
Yep.
And like, I don't think he's gotten any better. I don't think he's gotten any worse. I think it's just like the way that he's
a better situation. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like Dame. It just feels like people have completely written him off. Like he's done. He's cooked. Like he's one of the worst contracts in the league. Like it's just like, I feel like the hyperbole is kind of taking over with, again, like no context whatsoever for what the year was last year. And that was coming off of a year where he averaged 30 and was shooting the shit out of the ball. Like Dame is still Dame, and he's looked like in the preseason. He's, again, like we talked about, he's in much better shape. It's just like the perception of him and the team has just like gotten wildly out of whack.
Yeah.
But it's also they're talking. This is what I was trying to slow down here. This is what I was trying to get to earlier. But I was saying, like, they speak out of both sides of their mouths with the Bucks, where it's like, on one hand, you have Shams today talking about the eyes of the league are on Giannis, and if they're
so tired
if they don't play well, then teams are salivating and want to play. And it's like, okay, so you guys still recognize that Giannis is one of the best players and the most most desirable players to trade for in the league. But then you also think that a team with a healthy Giannis is going to be the 7th seed in the East. Like, make it make sense. Like Giannis and some bums could probably get you a top 4 seed in the East. Like, it's not. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. And like, I'm not gonna do the whole like, woe is me, Milwaukee bias, blah blah blah. But it just does not pass the smell test. Like, yes, they failed the last 2 years in the playoffs. There might be a reason for that. It's not an excuse.
Giannis was hurt.
Giannis has been healthy for all of like 10 minutes in the last 2 postseasons, and he didn't play any minutes in last year's series against Indy. And Dame was hurt for like 3 of those games.
2.
Chris Middleton
twisted his other ankle.
Ankles were fucked up to the point where he had to have double ankle surgery over the summer. Damn. Bobby Portis gets ejected like 3 minutes into one of the games that they wound up losing. Like, there's a lot of it's not excuses, it's just reasons why these things happen. So it's like, you can't just look at the result like, oh, the Bucks have flamed out in the playoffs the last 2 years. Like, why did that happen, and are they replicable? Like, Chris Middleton kind of pushed back on like being injury prone, which I don't necessarily agree with him, but he was saying like so many of his things are like fluke injuries.
They were. I mean, if KD doesn't put his foot underneath him when on a reckless closeout, which got him a flagrant foul, Chris doesn't miss 16 games in the season and doesn't mess up his ankle. That took him the worst ankle sprain he said he's ever had.
Yeah. So again, like, there's context context behind so many of these things, but like, they don't get credit for it, which fine. But also, like, I'm ready to, don't prop it up like the Bucks window is closed and blah blah blah. But then also say Giannis is like, oh, we're trying to get Giannis because like he's gonna unlock championship for whatever team goes to. Like,
yeah, no, I feel you on that. Let's get some finals predictions. I got the Bucks over the Thunder in 7.
Bucks Memphis 6.
Milwaukee, Minnesota in 6.
The Knicks over Denver in 6.
Question for you two.
Yes.
If you can't select Milwaukee, who's your team?
Boston. Because I think the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be Boston, Milwaukee, and I think in the West it's going to probably be, I think it's going to be Thunder Suns.
Okay.
In the Western Conference, I think Phoenix is going to be a lot better than some people think. Mike Budenholzer is a floor raiser.
It would be Boston.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Boston.
And
I wanted to say the Knicks, but like the way that they
I don't have that much faith in the Knicks. I already talked about why, but I have a lot of faith in the Bucks, and I'm gonna make this very quick because time be timing. But the Bucks roster makes more sense. First and foremost, they upgraded the roster while only having minimums. You're replacing Jay Crowder, Malik Beasley, and Patrick Beverly with Taurean Prince, DeLon Wright, and Gary Trent Jr. I think those are all 3 upgrades in itself. You have a situation that's more stable for Milwaukee this year, where there's not a coaching change in the middle of it, where there's not a blockbuster trade 2 days before training camp, which I think is going to be very helpful for this team. You've seen a few other teams over the last few years where that year 2 things just started to gel. When you look at Minnesota with Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns, took them year 2. Look at the Mavericks with Kyrie Irving and Luka. It took them year 2 to really figure it out. even with Cavs. Like, so I think for Milwaukee, a lot of the growth is going to be internal. I love the fact that they are a team this year where people are doubting them. They've been using that for motivation. I think the coaching staff is better this year. It's going to put them in positions to succeed. And if they can stay healthy, Dame and Giannis and Chris is a really tough trio to out, especially when Brook Lopez is healthy as well.
Also, like, I've made jokes about Doc Rivers for years on this show. You can check tapes. But like, we get to a point where they had him ranked the 22nd best coach in the NBA.
The 22nd?
22nd.
That's
disrespectful. Like, this is a man that's coached. Like, I don't think he's had a losing. Well, aside from the Bucks last year,
he's only had 2 in his year. They don't count. They don't count last year.
Like,
they don't.
His teams win games.
He's the 8th most winningest coach all time in NBA history and 4th in playoffs.
He's gone to another finals. Like, he gets his team to the playoffs consistently. I don't know. When he gets to playoffs, that's a different story. But he's not the 22nd best coach in the league.
It's a bunch of people in that Milwaukee Bucks locker room, from the coaching staff to the players, who feel the pressure on them but are ready for it. And I'm looking forward to seeing them come out and hoop. Okay. Some wrestling here. Real quick, and I had this question last week. The picture is a bit more clear now that Jey Uso is no longer our Intercontinental Champion because the Bloodline cost him. But how do y'all think that this Bloodline storyline plays out into Survivor Series?
So before he lost last night, I thought that it would be cool to see the Bloodline storyline play out with them trying to convince Jey.
So I say he pissed that Jey lost.
Yeah, I
figured it was going to happen after SmackDown last week when he showed up, and I was like,
put himself in that story. It's like, why would you poke the bear right before you got a big title?
And we was watching it live too. That shit was crazy. But I thought that it would be both sides are trying to convince Jey to join them, and he would be the deciding factor between who starts dominating.
That would have been interesting.
But because he cost him, if Jacob never did what he did last night, I was like, that's the play. That's where we're going. I can see it. That's actually pretty dope. Them try to convince him because he got his belt and shit like that. We helped him hold on to it. Y'all never come out and help him when he had jumped. Shit like that. Now, I'm not sure. Because they cost him a belt.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be straight up. Like, I think now Roman and Jimmy have to make amends, and they will. Like, they'll save him from a beatdown because he's gonna come out pissed off. And then they'll have to find a fourth, which I think will be like the bulk of the story between Crown Jewel and Survivor Series.
There's one more coming.
So with that, I think that when if Sami Zayn joins up with the OG Bloodline, I think Kevin Owens is going to completely lose his mind. Completely lose it. And I think that's another layer on it that I'm looking forward to. I've been really enjoying the Kevin Owens, like, just being pissed at everybody, like, Cody, Randy, what are y'all on right now? Like, y'all see what I've gone through with the Bloodline, and y'all like, I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Y'all crazy, because why are y'all doing this? And if Sami Zayn joins, he's going to lose his mind. So I think that's where the story goes, where they call Sami like, hey, buddy. Need another body. Need another body. Could you join us?
I don't know. I think that they're going to pull out another family member.
Another debut for the OG Bloodline.
For the OG, for the OG Bloodline. It's still a few of them. I know there's one. I'm not sure what his name, but he's real big. They call him like the Hawk or whatever. And I know he's been training. I forgot what his name is.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah. I know he's been training.
He's like the champ over at whatever promotion he's at right now. I think he's the main champ, but he might be losing the belt soon, something like that.
Yeah. So
I think they're out of ones that can come in straight on the TV. Like a lot of ones are still kind of minor league wrestlers.
Okay.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I think that it's going to be predictable, but that doesn't make it any less satisfying.
I agree with you on that one. All right. Let's talk about a surprising exit from the WWE this week that I don't think anybody really saw coming.
No, bro. So Samantha Irving has decided she's penned a letter on was it Monday? Sent it out to everybody. Apparently, there was a couple people in the company that knew, but for the most part, even the superstars and people in the back were surprised that she left them. To my surprise, so I tuned into Raw right at the beginning of the Intercontinental match. So I was like, I keep forgetting Raw's only 2 hours now. They ain't got a third hour where they finna cram everything in at the end. They doing all this shit now. And there was a ticker at the bottom. And in the bottom left, it was giving a recap of the show.
So far,
I was like, that's dope. I don't know if that's brand spanking new for this week.
They've been doing it for a couple
I was like, I don't know if I missed it.
You've just missed it. They've been doing that for a
while.
while.
I was like, that's dope as shit. And on there, it was like, Lillian Garcia returns. I was like, wait a minute. Who?
She was rusty, though.
Yeah, she came out number 1. What did she say? Contingent match. And I was like, championship.
She'll dust it off.
That was back though. I was happy to hear championship. No one says that the way Lillian Garcia does. But like, if you're gonna lose Samantha Irving, to get Lillian Garcia back is like a
full time. Back probably a little different though.
Oh yeah.
She probably look. I am a Hall of Famer now.
I need a Hall of Fame.
I need money.
Hall of Fame.
Y'all got it. I know y'all do. Where's it at?
But I saw Ricochet came out too and was like, "Don't worry, y'all. She's not coming to AEW."
They were beating him up.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Hey, bitch.
This bald head motherfucker right here, man.
Hey, man, that guy is fucking. He stinks doing promos, fam. Jesus,
that was his problem.
Man, he did a promo last time. I was like, this guy stinks. Jesus
that was
Christ,
his promos were his problem.
He cannot cut. He can't do it no more, fam.
He come off real generic.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Man?
Wait,
and it felt like I was watching a Tubi movie.
Sorry, wait. We are 8.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Celtics just tied the NBA record for most threes in the game.
Yep.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Yep. They have 128 points, y'all.
120.
It is 8 minutes and 35 seconds left.
128.
All game. Everybody
just pull.
It's everybody. It ain't just one person. Literally the entire team.
To get blown out like that on national TV, first game of the season, got to be something crazy, bro.
Hey man, that's a great way to start. They the champs, man.
It make you want to fight.
The Celtics are 29 of 48 from 3,
and they're not missing like that.
It's still more game.
29 of 48.
They can put up at least 60 of them things. It's still more game, fam.
They are shooting 60% from 3
in real life.
Jason Tatum is 8 of 11 by himself, and then Derek White is 6 of 10.
It's the fade.
The two of them have taken 21 threes by themselves, and the entire Knicks team has taken 24.
Damn.
I mean, really ain't shit you can do. Like, if they're gonna shoot that well, like, you gonna lose.
Yep.
They got to be like the most fun hooping.
Yeah, when everything
like
happens.
Literally everybody hitting.
That's how it be on 2K. When
like, bro, we all hitting, fam. Like this.
You start hyping each other.
Pull
that motherfucker.
Hey, he can't hold you. Go ahead. We had one.
Shit, he don't even shoot though. Shoot that bitch.
It was one game in 2K. We was blowing some team out. In the fourth quarter, it was just like we just gonna each do ISOs. We're gonna rotate through the roster. So I'm gonna start the ISO next, and the shooting guard ISO next possession, then the small forward, then the power forward, and so we're gonna keep going that way. And that's literally how we ended the game. Just ISOing. Everybody clear out.
I like the
ISO.
The lob games.
Oh yeah, those get fun too. And everything's alive.
Like literally, we just throwing lobs the whole game and catches, blowing them out 40
just live
from live. That would be fun.
What else? Transition gonna work. So listen, Daniel Bryanson. Is that his name? Bryan Danielson.
Daniel Bryanson.
Same. He bid farewell to the sport of professional wrestling.
Yeah, for those of you that love the Yes movement and everything that he had in the WWE.
No way we man the Yes movement.
Huh?
This man to the Yes movement.
I thought he was part of it.
Was he?
I thought he was. Wasn't you part of the Yes movement?
Eric was definitely yesing.
Oh shit! He was out here, yes.
That don't even sound like that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Run the tapes back.
My arms don't even work that way.
Run the tapes back.
Hey, undercover brother out here. Oh shit! But no, yeah, he had his final match in the AEW against Moxie. He did end up losing the championship to Moxie.
Right on your back.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Fun fact is that his last matches on every single show has been against some Shield members. So in his last match on Raw was in 19. That was against Seth. Last show on SmackDown was in 21. That was against Roman. And then his last match here, AEW Wrestle Dream, was against Moxley. So.
The Shield, man, the gift that keeps giving.
I definitely was not watching wrestling in 2019 because I don't remember Seth and Bryan fight.
That was a down period of wrestling for me, where I was like, not as into it. The whole then like the pandemic wrestling, and I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, that pandemic, it was rough.
It was weird. But Rumble. Someone has a Rumble question for us.
Yeah, I figure we're like 4 months out from the Rumble. Just throw me out some like who would you pick if you had to pick today for Royal Rumble winners, men's and women?
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, Charlotte, Jay.
You think Jay ready to win the Rumble?
I think by Rumble she would be.
Ooh.
I think so. I have confidence in her.
Her
being in the tag
team
team
make
highs.
a post about like she missed calling herself that bitch or something like that. Or maybe she wants to go back to her heel.
Maybe.
I do like that they're using their spotlight like as the champs to kind of give an opportunity to
others.
Lash and Lash Legend and Cara Jackson. And like they all went like all the black girls on NXT went viral.
Man, Shawn Michaels down there golden.
I'll still never forget Shawn Michaels when was it Sexy Red on the show? Or was it Megan Thee Stallion? And he was like, I would have had a lot more fun with this like 50s and 90s, but whatever. I was like, okay, Sean.
Oh, it would have been filthy. Definitely would have been filthy.
Boston can't handle the pressure. They just airballed the last 2-3.
I think they fine at this point. But for the men's side,
let me see.
Can Cody 3-peat?
No, it's not. He already got the belt.
Yeah, so it makes sense for him.
No, he ain't losing it by that point. He gonna be champion going to WrestleMania. Ooh, Jay Uso?
That'd be I wouldn't be mad at that, Jay. I wouldn't be mad at Braun either.
I could see Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
Jacob Fatu.
When I seen that, I was like, I need it now.
Everybody did.
So that's the future right there. What if it's someone like
John?
What if John Cena come back and win it?
His last year?
His farewell tour.
It makes
farewell
sense.
tour?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I keep forgetting he on his way back.
I mean, like
forget.
Yeah.
Like they've leaked stuff to the press saying like The Rock is gonna be busy for WrestleMania, which I feel like
The Rock already said he not though. Someone asked him on his Instagram. He's like, "Don't believe that."
Yeah, like that feels like we just wanted to be.
I'm clear about schedule.
So I was thinking like maybe that's like their.
Ooh, if The Rock wins it,
The Rock comes out at 30 and wins the Rumble to set up
the final boss and shit.
I feel like it's either gonna be Rock or Roman.
That would be nuts. The Rock, dog.
I could see it though. I can see the final boss coming because if I hear that music hit
at number 30,
you know it'd be crazy if he came out at 31. Like I'm the boss.
Oh, like I made my own.
I made my own spot.
Yeah. Damn.
Niggas would be pissed. Pissed.
But that's Ultimate Heel though.
Yeah.
That's Ultimate Heel.
Builds on the persona and everything.
Imagine if it's somebody like that people want to see at 30. Like Daniel Bryan comes out at 30. I know it's not gonna happen, but like somebody like that, where everybody like, oh my god, it's great, blah blah blah, and then like 2 minutes later you hear, wait, and then you just had The Rock come out.
Oh shoot, Shailene said if Cena wins another title, I'm done. Yeah, I'm petty. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Shailene. I need him to win Championship 17. I need him to break the record. I need him to be the one alone most title reigns in
him and Cody fight is gonna be 10 Cody 10 10 crossroads
15 Cody cutters
15 Cody cutters
yeah,
20 crossroads.
I don't know what they'll do, but like he's never held the IC title. That's the only title he's never held, and then he also has the chance to break Flair's record. So I feel like at least one of those things
you gotta
happen.
You gotta let him break that,
but I don't know which one.
Oh, he gotta go out as a Grand Slam champ.
Yeah. I think the Flair one's
I'd rather break the
I'd rather that's the one I need to see it.
Get that because he only got to hold the title for that long.
No, just
let him win it.
Get the belt.
Get out of there.
You can do just like Jey Uso.
He had it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or have somebody cash in on him.
They could do that.
Wait, they gotta have the celebration.
Yeah,
they gotta let him eat. Yeah, gotta let him have his money.
Or he could cash in on the next week. But I mean, it depends on when he wins the belt. If Money in the Bank has happened yet, because
he ain't gonna defend that motherfucker.
No, he's gonna be here for 20 full time next year.
Also, no,
Cena.
Oh, right.
No, Cena gonna be here all next year for his run, January through December.
I missed the Cena run, so
I was a fan, my boy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I missed it, so it'll be cool to see. My son loves Cena.
Most kids do.
Yeah,
most kids do. All right, let's wrap up here by giving some love to the New York Liberty, winning the franchise first WNBA championship.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Jonquel Jones, MVP. 5-game series, came down to the wire, overtime in multiple games. One of the most exciting finals with some questionable officiating.
Kathy had her finger on scales for coming down the stretch.
Kathy came to the game 5 with a New York skyline dress on. I said, "Girl, be more discreet."
Ooh.
Like, she handing the championship over to them with a dress on with a skyline. Like, I see why Cheryl Reed was in that press conference like, "Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. This is some BS. They have cheated us." Like, she was pissed. She was pissed. And I get it. But it was an exciting WNBA finals. My girl, Courtney Williams, was looking real good, but game 5, it was...
Oh, they got her back.
Yeah, they did. They put a little fake Birkin bag next to a Target bag at half court. I said,
damn. Because
I don't know if you saw, but she's like, "Yeah, I'm in my bag right now. I'm hooping." Like, I'm like in my Birkin bag. I got to make sure it don't turn back into a Target bag. And then when they lost game 5, Liberty put
a Target bag
at half court next to a fake Birkin bag.
I love the pettiness. I love it.
There's so much petty.
I love it.
The pettiness in the WNBA.
It's high.
I love it.
Like, it makes the NBA look like the middle school.
Even with the mascots, Ellie the Elephant was going off, fam, against the Lynx mascot, fam. Like, they was beefing. Ellie is the GOAT. There is no mascot better than Ellie. Like, they won the championship. She fell out on the court. She was crying. She was banging her hands on the floor. She was like...
Speaking of people falling on the court, Sabrina, get your ass up. Like,
she didn't do nothing.
How you go 1 for 20 in game 6 and like game 5? I want to act like you just did something. Like,
her and Stewie were questionable in that game 5. Questionable. But shout out to the Liberty, first championship. Cheryl, I wish I could play the clip of Cheryl Reed after the game. I've never quite heard.
That was the "you raggedy bitch."
Dang near. Like, at the end of it, that was my favorite part. She goes, "Well, I mean, I guess congrats to the Liberty. They've been around for what, 28 years? 28 years. They finally got their first championship. We would have won our 5th if we got it. But you know, whatever. Congrats to the Liberty for their first one." I said, "Good Lord."
Right.
Good Lord. But shout out to them. Shout out to a successful WNBA season, successful to the point where you have the Players Association for the WNBA opting out of the CBA next year. So the league and the Players Association has about a year to try to get a new contract under order before there's a work stoppage. So
we see this money. We need it now.
And it's so crazy, though, because the way all the money is split,
I just read up on that, too.
It's going to be hard for them to get more money because I didn't realize that the NBA and their owners own 42% of the league.
Damn.
So off the top, any money that comes in, 42% goes straight to
the NBA and their owners.
They just sold off more equity to Nike. So I think that's another like 10-15%.
I said 40. So it's 42, so that's 8. So it's like 14 or 16% of equity. Wait, let me do the actual math.
42 and 42 is 84.
So yeah, 16%. Yeah. It's like Nike and other investors. So they got that piece that go that way. And then that last 42 goes to the league to be dispersed.
So they would need both of them to be like, we'll give you a little bit more back.
And they ain't going to do that. So it's going to be interesting to follow that labor dispute in the WNBA.
Yeah. So like they have more money coming in. So like even if they keep the same percentages, like they'll be making more money because like their pie is going to be larger. But I'm assuming the players are going to want more of the pie, which has been their criticism, but like that's what they've been complaining about the last couple of times that they've gone through labor negotiations. Where like people look at it from the outside, like the WNBA players want to get paid like NBA players. Like no, they've never asked for that. They just want to get as much of the pie as NBA players are getting of their pie.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, but hopefully there's no stoppage of the league after next season because
that would kill momentum.
Yeah, and they're building a lot of it right now. The most watched finals in history. I saw Shylin said that he was torn because he's a Lynx fan, but he's glad that John Quell got one. I am too. The John Quell part. I'm not a Lynx fan. Let me be clear. I like Courtney Williams, so that's my girl. But
Stacy over here.
Yeah.
So,
about them Sparks?
The Sparks will be good next year, I think. Y'all get another high draft pick.
Definitely gonna be solid. Yeah.
Y'all get Cameron Brink back after she got hurt.
Yeah, I can't wait for her.
You got Rakia Jackson been over there hooping. Y'all got some pieces. Y'all got some pieces. There were a couple NFL trades too last week before we get out of here. Devontae Adams is a Jet. Amari Cooper, he is a Buffalo Bill. And Cam Akers is a Viking. And also, Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles and he is out for the rest of the season.
Oh no! Anyway,
so yeah, that's to wrap up. Anything else y'all want to say before we get out of here?
Nope.
Who's you look? All right, cool. Listen, y'all. Words of wisdom, whatever you want to call it this week. I'm gonna just say this. Give people their flowers when they can receive them. I recently saw someone was lost a bunch for people who I know. They're going through a really hard time. Lost somebody around our age, which is one of the things where you be like, dang, like that's our age, and you passed away. And you see the outpouring of support and love on Facebook, and everybody saying the memories and everything like that. Don't let it be to that point where that's when you give someone their flowers. Like at the very least, check in on somebody's birthday. Hey, happy birthday. I appreciate you. I am whatever it is at the very least, but tell people you love them. A lot of people are struggling and going through some stuff, and y'all be surprised at how one kind thing can like boost an entire day for somebody who's going through something. So
most definitely.
Show love, be love, and things will be good. So we're going to get out of here. As a reminder, y'all, make sure you're following us on the social media accounts at Technical Foul, TECKNICAL. Foul on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Technical Foul Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. If you were in the YouTube stream live, we appreciate you. Make sure you like up the video. For those of you who weren't, come join us next week. Don't be like that. Come join us.
Come on back, yeah.
Like I apologize. I wasn't trying to laugh in the video. I think it's just like Boston is gunning for threes.
And they broke as fuck.
And my word of wisdom is early voting is now open in Wisconsin. So if you don't want to wait on election day, you can do that now. Request an absentee ballot. They have ballot drop-off boxes outside of local libraries. You got a million ways to vote.
Yep.
You have no excuses if you don't.
Exactly. Make sure you do it.
Exercise that right.
If you don't.
Go vote.
Man, I can't wait for this election to be over because I am so tired of them calling me, emailing me,
man,
all my ads. Living in a swing state sucks sometimes.
Yes, it does. I feel like we don't even get the benefit of like them trying to bribe us. Like,
hell no, they just exactly all in your face. Like, come on.
And man. I watch a lot of YouTube, and it's like every YouTube break.
Dude, my son talking about not to vote for Eric Hudson. What are you talking about, man? All I know is you talking about.
If you would like to follow me personally on the social medias, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter and the Instagram at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE. And I will quickly plug, I will be on the radio tomorrow morning on 105.7 the Fan.
The Fan.
Talking Packers around 8:20 in the morning.
Tune in.
So tune in to that. Tune in to Locked On Bucks. We had Chris Johnson on this week. Super dope conversation. No relation to this guy to my right, but relation to Marcus Johnson, the Bucks great. So y'all go run that up.
Run it up.
Yeah, sorry. I was joking before, but like really, Boston, like they gave some pressure. They couldn't break the record. At Bucks Burner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Yeah, that's like
everyday_gentleman on Instagram. I'm KHarris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. We out this bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just play that music.
Oh,
Hit 'em hard. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm more competitive. No, baby. Yeah, of course, this is a good game. I'm gonna learn the words.
Better keep them cameras and microphones hot, 'cause this one's a vibe. Gotta run this straight. Try. Going live with the pie.
Hey. Hey.
Shout out to my point guard.
Hey.
About to hit him hard. Throwing niggas tired.
Oh, I gotta put the Migos ad-libs on that bitch.
Hey, next week, the ad-libs is coming.
Hell yeah, put the Migos ad-libs on that bitch.